We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. Two of them being Messi and Ronaldo. So that shows where Clark is in the zeitgeist already.
Here, Caitlin Clark lands $13 billion brand collab as WNBA stars bond with Wilson grows deeper. And that's the cool part, man. Shout out.
Caitlin Clark just did something only Michael Jordan had done before her, and it didn't involve dunking or breaking a scoring record. It involved a $13 billion deal that sent shockwaves through the entire sports world.
A collaboration with supermarket chain Hy-Vee. They rake in more than $13 billion annually. Huge company, just in time for—
Yes, billion with a capital B. Clark is now the only other athlete in Wilson's entire history to have her own signature line of basketballs, and unlike most brand collabs that get buried in retail limbo, hers sold out in under 40 minutes.
Yeah, not just female athlete, not just in the United States, but in the entire world.
Repeatedly, fans didn't just buy the hype, they cleared shelves like it was Black Friday in the middle of a snowstorm. While the WNBA twiddled its thumbs and Nike took a vow of silence, Wilson went all in and came out looking like geniuses.
Wilson dropped the first Clark-inspired basketball. It sold out in under 40 minutes. Tens of thousands of basketballs snapped up almost instantly.
The same company that once bet on a young Jordan just did it again with a rookie from Iowa who now happens to be the most marketable woman in sports. This isn't just a brand deal, it's a corporate mic drop. Wilson saw what everyone else ignored.
Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
They saw the future, and her name is Caitlin Clark. And guess what? The gamble worked instantly. Those signature balls sold out so fast, it looked like a glitch. Social media exploded. Fans were begging for restocks.
They're ready to go. They're waiting for the clock to tick down. That is Caitlin Clark, folks. That is Caitlin Clark and her fandom. And Wilson completely understood it and embraced it.
And while Wilson was breaking records, Nike was apparently busy doing absolutely nothing. Let's just break this down slowly for dramatic effect. Nike signed Clark to a $28 million contract. They had the hottest athlete on the planet, riding the biggest wave of momentum women's basketball has ever seen, and they gave us silence.
Guys, and her WNBA season has come and gone. And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
No shoes, no ad campaign, no jerseys. They put Clark on the bench and hoped nobody would notice, except everyone noticed. Clark didn't just dominate on the court, she dominated retail, marketing, and headlines. She moved product like a one-woman industry. Yet Nike treated her like a last-minute pickup from the G League.
He reports Nike wants to prioritize A'ja Wilson, and it fears the optics of giving a rookie a signature shoe before an already established star who just won league MVP for the third time. We have talked about this multiple times on my channel. Is A'ja Wilson currently the best player in the WNBA? Yes. Is Caitlin Clark currently the face of the WNBA? Yes. Do I think if A'ja Wilson dropped a shoe and Caitlin Clark dropped a shoe today at the very same time, that Caitlin Clark would outsell A'ja's shoe by 100 times? Yes, I think that would be the case.
Meanwhile, Wilson was over there building an empire, and they weren't alone. Enter Hy-Vee. Yes, the Midwest grocery chain that somehow understood Clark's value better than the biggest sports brand in the world. Hy-Vee didn't just slap her on a cereal box and call it a day, they partnered with Wilson to drop exclusive Dreamer and Tribute Edition basketballs with unique colorways and a slick brand story.
Here, they just had this go, and this is the Hy-Vee Instagram account. Again, Wilson, Caitlin Clark, really smart, very cool video, lots of smiling.
These weren't gimmicks, they were carefully crafted, limited releases that vanished the moment they hit the internet. Hy-Vee even donated $35,690 to the Caitlin Clark Foundation to honor the number of points she scored during her historic college run. That's how you do smart marketing. That's how you invest in someone's story. They weren't selling products, they were selling legacy. And it worked. Clark's name became a symbol.
thinking, is she the greatest rookie of all time? I know that we have seen on multiple podcasts where they have talked about her being not only the greatest WNBA rookie, but the most impactful and most influential rookie across the board in any sport. And a lot of people were comparing her to LeBron James, saying, was LeBron James the most influential rookie, or is it Caitlin Clark? And I think that the argument, one, on the WNBA side can be made, and it's so hard to compare eras of basketball. And I think if you look at her stats, if you look at it on paper, she is up there with the greatest of the great.
So that I can name an athlete in recent memory that is sold at this level. And there's the key, folks. Caitlin Clark moves products. Caitlin Clark moves merchandise.
And let's talk about this for a second. According to Sport Pro, Clark was ranked the 4th most marketable athlete in the entire world. Not just women, not just basketball, the world. She ranked above LeBron James, above every male NBA superstar, above every other athlete in women's sports. Only Simone Biles, a Brazilian soccer player, and a Formula One driver ranked higher. That's the company she's keeping now. And what does Nike do with this info? Nothing. They just stare into the abyss like it's going to solve itself. Her jersey sales skyrocketed by 500%. Every Caitlin Clark product is either sold out or going viral. Wilson saw the moment and owned it. Nike fumbled it so hard you'd think it was part of a prank show. And while all this was happening, another twist hit the timeline. Out of nowhere, A'ja Wilson announces a 6-year contract extension with Nike. 6 years, right after Clark's deal with Wilson exploded. Right after everyone was talking about how Nike has dropped the ball harder than a butterfingered quarterback. And somehow, we're supposed to believe that timing is just coincidence? Fans didn't. Social media erupted with speculation, and not the flattering kind. People accused A'ja of trying to redirect the spotlight. Others called it a desperate PR move by Nike to save face. One fan called it a fake deal. Another said it was like giving someone a participation trophy to distract from the fact that they lost a championship. Ouch. And this isn't just a random backlash, there's history here. Remember when A'ja won MVP after a season many said belonged to Breanna Stewart? Yeah, fans have long memories. And now they're asking the hard question. Is A'ja Wilson the best player in the league? Probably. But is Caitlin Clark the face of the league? Absolutely. If they both drop shoes tomorrow, one fan said Clark's would outsell A'ja's 100 times over. And the internet agreed. This isn't about skill, it's about connection. Clark moves units. Clark drives engagement. Clark breaks records. And still, Nike acts like she's just another name on a spreadsheet. It's almost impressive how badly they're handling this. While Wilson sells out basketballs like concert tickets, Nike is still trying to figure out where they stored her contract. One commentator put it, bestowing Caitlin Clark and not promoting her is like owning a Ferrari and locking it in your garage forever. Meanwhile, Wilson and Hy-Vee are throwing parades, building campaigns, and making Caitlin Clark into the most powerful brand in women's sports. It's not even close anymore. Even Paige Bucher's got a signature shoe recently, and no offense, but that shoe was trash. Clark has outplayed, outsold, and outshined everyone this year. She had the most momentum of any athlete in modern history. Her rise from college sensation to WNBA superstar was one of the most electrifying transitions we've ever seen, yet Nike acted like it was afraid to capitalize. Industry insiders are baffled. Why is Nike refusing to launch a shoe, a campaign, or literally anything? Theories are flying around like confetti. Some say Nike is scared of the optics. They don't want to give a rookie a signature line before a multi-time MVP. Others think Nike is just flat out asleep at the wheel, and then there are the fans who think Nike knows exactly what it's doing. They're just making the worst strategic decision in the history of marketing. Either way, the result is the same. While Wilson and Hy-Vee are revolutionizing the business of women's sports, Nike is missing out on the easiest win of all time. This isn't just a missed opportunity, it's an embarrassment. And now, with Clark's name reaching new heights, Nike is stuck playing catch-up in a game they should have been leading. What makes this even crazier is how the entire situation is being watched in real time. Every fan, every journalist, every brand manager in the country is seeing how Wilson took a shot and scored a billion-dollar slam dunk while Nike clutched the ball and stared at the hoop. And now there's talk that Clark may be looking to renegotiate or rethink her partnership. Can you blame her? If you were her agent and you saw this circus playing out, wouldn't you be calling some emergency meetings right now? Clark has proven she's a walking brand machine. She doesn't need Nike. Nike needs her. And the longer they sit on this, the more they look like amateurs. Wilson didn't hesitate. They acted. They built something bold and new. They weren't scared of being first. They were proud of it. They created something Clark could be proud to put her name on. And Hy-Vee? They went from grocery store to sports marketing legend overnight. They didn't just believe in Clark, they understood her. They donated, they marketed, they sold, they created meaning. Meanwhile, Nike continues to release empty statements and vague rumors. But here's the kicker. Clark is only getting started. Every day, her influence grows. Every drop sells faster. Every highlight clip racks up millions of views. And every other brand is watching this saga unfold and learning one thing very clearly. If you want to win, you bet on Caitlin Clark. Because she doesn't just play the game, she changes it. She broke records in college, shattered expectations in the pros, and now she's redefining athlete branding as we know it. So the question now isn't whether Clark will get her shoe. It's whether Nike will wake up in time to make it matter. Or if they'll just keep proving that Wilson, a company that hasn't signed anyone like this in decades, understood the assignment better than the so-called kings of sportswear. Caitlin Clark is the moment. She's the movement. And the companies that get it are already cashing in. The ones that don't, they'll be left wondering how they fumbled the easiest bag in sports history. But the plot thickens because this isn't just about one company dropping the ball while another company scores the game winner. This is about an entire industry watching in real time as the rules of sports marketing get rewritten by a rookie who apparently understands her own value better than the executives with decades of experience. And the ripple effects are getting wild. Other brands are now scrambling to get their piece of the Clark phenomenon. Gatorade is rumored to be circling. Under Armour is reportedly making calls. Even smaller companies that never dreamed of competing with Nike are suddenly throwing their hats in the ring because they've seen what Wilson accomplished and they want their own slice of that magic. The timing couldn't be more perfect either. Women's sports are having their biggest moment in history, and Clark is sitting right at the center of it all like the eye of a profitable hurricane. The WNBA just had its most watched season ever. Women's college basketball broke viewership records that had stood for decades. And sponsors are finally starting to realize that women's sports aren't just charity cases or feel-good investments anymore. They're legitimate gold mines waiting to be tapped. Clark proved that in the most dramatic way possible. She didn't just break barriers, she obliterated them and then used the rubble to build a throne. And speaking of timing, let's talk about how Wilson's basketball deal is making other companies look absolutely foolish in comparison. While Nike was sitting on their hands wondering if they should maybe possibly consider potentially thinking about launching something Clark related sometime in the distant future, Wilson was out there making moves like they were playing chess while everyone else was still learning checkers. They didn't just create a product, they created an event. Every restock became a cultural moment. Every sellout became a news story. Every social media post became viral content. Wilson turned selling basketballs into appointment television. The contrast is almost comical at this point. Nike has been the undisputed king of athlete marketing for so long that they apparently forgot they actually have to do marketing to stay on top. They've been coasting on their reputation while Wilson came in hungry and desperate to prove themselves. And hunger beats complacency every single time. Wilson treated the Clark partnership like their Super Bowl, while Nike treated it like a Tuesday. Guess who won? But this story gets even more interesting when you zoom out and look at what this means for the future of sports marketing. Clark has essentially become a case study in how to maximize athlete value in the modern era. She's shown that authenticity beats manufactured hype. That connection beats corporate polish. That understanding your audience beats focus group research. Wilson got this immediately. They didn't try to make Clark fit their brand, they built their brand around Clark. They didn't water down her personality to appeal to the masses, they amplified it and let the masses come to them. Meanwhile, Nike is still operating like it's 1995. They're still thinking in terms of traditional marketing campaigns and scheduled product launches and committee-approved messaging. They're treating Clark like she's just another athlete when she's clearly something completely different. She's a cultural phenomenon who happens to play basketball, not a basketball player who happens to be popular. There's a massive difference, and Wilson understood it while Nike completely missed it. The most beautiful part of this entire saga is watching how Clark has handled it all. She hasn't thrown anyone under the bus or made dramatic demands or played politics. She's just kept being herself and letting her results speak for themselves. Every game she plays better. Every interview she gives is more confident. Every business decision she makes is smarter. She's not just growing as a player, she's evolving as a brand in real time and is absolutely fascinating to watch. And the fans are eating it up. Clark's fan base isn't just loyal, they're evangelical. They don't just buy her products, they defend her honor online. They don't just watch her games, they analyze her every move and celebrate her every success, like it's their own personal victory. This level of fan engagement is marketing gold, and Nike is just letting it sit there unused like buried treasure. Wilson, meanwhile, has become the darling of sports business media practically overnight. They went from being the basketball company that wasn't Nike or Spalding to being the company that outsmarted Nike at their own game. Their stock price is probably doing backflips. Their brand recognition just jumped about 50 years into the future. And all because they recognized something that should have been obvious to everyone. Caitlin Clark is special, and special requires special treatment. The question now is whether Nike will learn from this masterclass in corporate humiliation, or if they'll just keep doubling down on their strategy of doing absolutely nothing while their biggest competitor runs victory laps around them. Either way, Caitlin Clark wins. She's already proven she doesn't need Nike to be successful. She's proven she can make any company look brilliant just by associating with them. And she's proven that the old rules of sports marketing don't apply to her because she's writing new ones as she goes.